Hello everyone. This is part 2 of our HR analytics. This is a live class where students will attend this session and I will teach how to create this HR analytics dashboard where we are answering questions that we were discussing in the previous class. In the previous class, I help them in answering these top 5-6 questions, and today we will answer more questions, and I will also introduce you guys when to use what in DAX, and we will create a basic DAX measure. So we will see all of that, and this is part 2. In part 1 we created why employees leave the organization dashboard, and here we are doing more exploratory analysis. So let's get started with this class. So now we are continuing our HR analytics data set. We created this dashboard in the first part. Now in the second part we will solve from question number 6. So we did HR analytics data set. So if you have not seen the first part, or if you have not used the first part, you have to go and watch that. Otherwise, let's start. Question number 6 is, what is the gender distribution by department? There are multiple ways to answer this question. One answer was already given. We put department on y-axis, we put employee count on x-axis, and gender as legend. So when a question like this is asked, okay, imagine in your head how many categorical values are there for question number 6. How many categorical values are there and how many numerical values are there, and what? For question number 6.
The numerical value is 1, employee ID.
Numerical value is 1, employee ID or count of employee ID?
And categorical value
Nahin,
2.
before that my question, numerical value you said employee ID, but employee ID or count of employee ID?
Count of employee ID.
Distinct count of employee ID, right? So basically count distinct of employee ID. So you said numerical value is 1, and how many categorical values are there? 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5? 2.
Gender and department.
Gender and department. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you are seeing that if we have to answer the question with 2 numerical values and one numerical value and 2 categorical value, we actually have a lot of charts that we can create. We have already seen usage of this bar chart, but here I am going to demonstrate it through ribbon chart. So what is this ribbon chart showing? In the ribbon chart you can see that it is showing some ribbons and their ranks. Okay, like here you can see one ribbon is all going up, one is like this. So here in ribbon chart, on x-axis we can keep one thing. Okay, so for example on x-axis we can keep one category, which is department, like we are taking department. On y-axis we always put something that we count. So on y-axis I am going to count employee ID, okay, and count distinct. So it is going to create a ribbon like this. So now here you can see we have the ribbon chart, and in the ribbon chart we have department on x-axis, count of employee ID on y-axis, legend, we are putting another categorical field. So we had two categories and we can swap them also. Like we can put legend here and department as legend. But this is a better way of answering. Next, employee ID is used as this. In the previous class, we studied this chart. This is a stacked bar chart. We can also create a stacked column chart and it will display the answer like this. So this is also showing same thing, employee count by department and gender, and this is also showing the same thing. Now what is the difference here? Can you tell me the difference? The difference is simple. Here it is giving you answer no matter what category is there. It is putting other on top, male in between and female here. Okay, so it is ordering like that. So first female, then male, then other gender. So it is ordering like that in all the bars, but in a ribbon chart it is not like that. In ribbon chart it is just like that bar chart, but here what is happening, if the rank of any category, if the rank of gender, any gender is lower, so it will order accordingly. So for example, in HR department people from other gender are 28, in finance also they are 22 and they are the highest. So whatever category is highest in other category on the basis of the numerical value, so whatever gender is higher in department on the basis of count of employees will be kept on top, and whatever value is lower will be ordered accordingly. So here that's why you can see, like for example in IT and research and development department we have more male employees. In HR, finance and sales we have employees of other genders. We have more employees of other gender. And in marketing we mostly have people who are female. So this is what this ribbon chart is telling, and that is the difference. So is this clear to you guys? What is the difference between a ribbon and a stack bar chart? Whenever you will have two categories, then you have to show their distribution, and you also want to tell their ranks. You will do like that. Okay, so this is question number 6. Now let's try another question. It is asking, does performance rating correlate with attrition? Okay, that means if rating is 2, that means high attrition. If rating is less, that means high attrition. What is the case? So whenever word correlation is there, so although here we have suggested clustered bar, but remember whenever the word correlate is there and we have something like this, so we can create a bar chart, or we can create a scatter chart. Okay, when two numbers are there, but here attrition is not given as a number. Okay, here attrition is given as a yes or no. So because it is given as a yes or no, then we will only choose, or we can do it with multiple ways. So that's why we have written clustered bar, and this is something that we have done in previous class also. So now tell me, what should I do? Like, I have given you a hint, clustered bar. If I have to show this answer via cluster bar, what should I do here?
We have to keep
For this we
employee
have to
count.
No, I am copying this question. Okay, and I'm just adding it as a text box here, and we have to answer that so that you can read the question properly.
For
Now
this
tell
solving
me,
this question, for this solving this question, we have to use two dates formula, I think.
what
That
should
is
we
the
do?
iteration is a
And suppose hint is given as clustered bar. I don't know hint is correct or not or whatever, but hint is clustered bar. So if I will select a clustered bar, what should I do?
actually cluster bar is working the one category.
So
Attrition should be in the legend.
so first I am taking clustered bar. That's what will be my first step. Then I will copy the styling from this so that I don't have to restyle it. Now what you are saying is, Mohan,
Attrition column should be in the legend.
attrition should be legend. Okay, so let's add attrition as a legend. Because, and you are right, like we can do that because it is like a, you know, it is something that will create the colors. So yes, now
Can you show me the table column data?
this is performance rating. Performance rating is either 1, 2, 3 or 5.
That should be in x-axis.
So you are saying it should be in x-axis. Let's add it. Do we need to create groups for it, like bins, as I told you earlier, or it should be sufficient on its own? Do you remember bins concept?
Yeah, I remember.
Like we created age group bins. Shweta ji, you remember? Shadar? Like
Yes, sir.
when we decided when the range is big, we will create bins, right? So we can reduce number of bins. But if you look closely, performance rating in itself, so it only has these 5 different values, right? So it is like a label also. It can be considered like a category also, right? Like if needed. Like performance rating 1 can be very poor. Performance rating 5 can be very good, right? 2 can be average or something. 3 can be average, 2 can be poor, 4 can be good. So you can call it that. So we can do performance rating on x-axis. Now what to put on y-axis?
Work-life balance. Oh.
Now how does performance rating correlate with attrition? So you have put two things here, performance rating and
Attrition.
like if I put count of attrition, it is not going to do it correctly. So in legend we have it. Now answer is, here we can add employee ID. Na? So if we add count of employee ID, in each group you will be able to find number of employees leaving and not leaving, right? So attrition, yes and no. Are there some groups where there is more attrition? Like for example here we have more attrition, right? Here, so if that is opposite of what we expected, that yeah, in we will say the performance rating is good here, right? But even then they are leaving the organization. So it may be a case that these people are good and they may have got other offers. Here also people are leaving the organization. But when performance rating is very poor or poor, let's say, in that case, more people are not leaving the organization. Attrition is no. So it kind of gives us an indication. If we answer this question, does performance rating correlate with attrition? So we can say yes, it is correlating, but in a negative way. Like when performance rating is becoming more people are leaving. So yes, it can correlate, but from company's point of view, that is opposite of what should happen. Like if performance rating is better, they should stick at company, right? So, but this is how you can answer the question. And if you are answering, you can also copy these questions, and you can go to general tab and just put these questions as your heading. Our next question is average training hours per department. This is easy, right? Average training hours per department. So now I am copying this question, and tell me what should I do.
Actually, date column should will be in hierarchy.
No, first of all, see, training hours is given already. No? See, training time in hours. Training time last year. Okay. In hours it is given. So now what should I do? Swetaji, can you answer this? Like
Training hour divided by working hour.
average training hours per department it is asking. You guys can answer, like that's why I'm asking you, like it's an interactive thing today.
Yeah, training hour should be divided with working hours.
Is it needed to do some calculation first of all? Like do we need to do?
Yeah,
If
it needed because
I am giving a simple conclusion here. Let's say this is card and this is training time. Okay, this is sum of training time. This is average of training time last year. Okay,
okay.
so without writing any DAX or anything, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
So now can you give this answer? Average training hours per department.
Problem.
How many categorical values should be there and how many numerical?
Average training hour is numerical, department is categorical.
Right? So you have your concept ready. So what type of chart can be used? One
Bar
category bar chart, one categorical, one numerical, right? So let's say we keep this. We copy the formatting. On y-axis, what should I put?
average training hours.
Think again. This
Department.
is clustered bar, right? Like this is a bar. This is horizontal. So on horizontal, you will put something that is a label, right? On x-axis, training time or average training time. So you can, which department has more average training time? Finance. finance, however you pronounce it. And in research and development department, we have the least amount of training time. This is our answer of average training hour by department. Okay, and I think with the help of this combination, the title is explaining already, but we can tell because we are solving question number 8. So what you can do is you can answer these questions in a different way also. Like for example, I can also show it with the help of a tree map. Okay, I can also show it with the help of a line chart. You can see here, but best way to do that will be through a bar chart. Now I want to show you one more thing here, very important. If the value has a lower number, okay, like for example research and development has a lower number and finance has a higher number, so we can go to the settings. If it is a bar chart, it will show bar here. If I convert it to a column chart, it will show column here. Is it clear to you? This is one and the same thing. It is calling vertical as column and it is calling this as bar. So whatever it is there, okay. When it is bar, now suppose I want to show colors in a different way, okay. Like I think if training hour is more than 5, so let's write a condition. If training hour average is greater than 5, then show dark blue color. If training hour is less than 5, then show, let's say, then show orange color. First of all, do you get this conditional statement?
Yes.
Like if average training hour is more than 5, then show this. So how will we do this? Or can we do this in Power BI?
Oh, we can do
We can do, right?
in
So
condition formatting.
conditional formatting. So how to come here? So go to your bar chart. In your bar chart, go to your bars where you will find colors. There you will find FX written. Go to FX. In FX, you will find two options. Format style can be either with the help of rules or it can be with the help of gradient. So if we are doing it with the help of rules, so now it is showing what field should we base this on. What field should we base this on? Check. What field should we base this on?
Average hours.
Average
Training
training
hours.
hours. So field will be training
Training.
hour. Now will it be sum or what?
Average.
Average. Is this part okay? So you are applying a rule. If the value will be average training hours, if value is greater than equal to, okay, so we will write if the value is greater than equal to 5. Instead of percent I will write number, okay, and value is less than equal to something, let's say 5.5 because we know maximum value is that. Then show dark blue color, new rule. And if value is greater than equal to 0 and less than 5, then show orange color. First let's try and then we will come back here. So now we will click OK, and now you can see if value is greater than 5, we are showing it as blue color. Let's say we are saying this is good amount of training hour, and if it is orange, we are saying these two departments have less amount of training. See, we are not just doing these questions. Our idea is to, also learn new things, also learn how to present new things. So now I'm going to close this, but I can keep it like that. Now, is this clear to you guys? Let's go once again to our bar color setting. We can go to bar. We have color. We have rule. So if value, what value? Average training hour is greater than 5, greater than equal to 5, and less than equal to 5.5. I'm just putting it as here, right? Because it is asking this. Yeah.
There is a 5 and 5.5 is what?
You can put any upper limit, na?
Yeah, you can put, but
See, in HR department it is in HR department it is 5.14 to 5.24. Okay. So like we can also write something like max.
so it 5 is start and 5.5 you have mentioned is a end, right?
Yeah, it's a max. You can write max here also. And here also, if value is greater than minimum and minimum number and less than 5, then orange.
Okay.
Do you get the point?
Yes, I will.
Let's say we want to display in a different way. Let's say if it is between 0 to 3, we will show it as red. 3 to 0 to 4 red, 4 to 5 some other color orange, and then above that blue. So what should I do? So like if it is, I'm saying if it is greater than 5.2 to max blue color, if it is minimum to 3.5, let's say red color, new rule, what is remaining? If it is greater than equal to 3.5 and less than 5.2, right? Something like. Let's show it in green color or whatever color is there. So let's show it in yellow color. Now you can see it is showing either yellow or blue. So this condition may have applied. So it is, let's select this as a number. Let's try 3.9. Now it's okay, right? So if it is less than 3.9, it is like this. So you can create any number of such conditions based on the logic, right? And that is what we can do. And actually, if I will show it as a clustered column chart, then it will be easier for us to analyze. So is this clear to you guys? Next is, what is the age group with highest attrition? This is something that we already answered in previous question. So we created distribution of age, and which is the age group with highest attrition? We can see 27, right? The number is 27. So this is the age group where highest attrition is yes. So from 20, the age group of 20 to 24. So we created the group. In the group we kept the bin size as 5, right? So from 20 to 25, and we can see what is the minimum value of age. So that will give us age group. Yeah, 20 to 24 we can say. So people from 20 to 24 are leaving the companies. Most number of people who have left are either this or people in the age of 55 bin. Least are in case of 40 bin. So you can see that. So we have answered that question already. Next we have, how does marital status affect attrition or income? Okay, so like, do single employees show higher attrition or married employees show higher attrition? What should be the reason? So let me write the question here, and now you guys will suggest me the answer. How does marital status affect attrition or income? So we can answer two, we can create two charts here, one for income, one for attrition. So for the first chart, what should I do? Now before we start answering the question, this is count of employees and this is attrition count. Okay, in Power BI we can create a new measure, a new column, or a new table. So you guys can write it down. In Power BI we can write DAX. DAX is data analysis expressions. With DAX we can create calculated measures. Calculated measures are single values, single answers. Calculated columns. Calculated columns are obviously there are n number of rows, right? They are not single values, they have n number of rows. And we can create calculated tables. Like I will teach you how to create summary table. So calculated tables are, for example, financial transaction table or a summary table. Like suppose I ask you to show me department wise attrition rate. Okay, so department wise attrition rate, so you will write department name and here you will write attrition rate, right? And here you will put HR, whatever attrition rate is there, like 56%. Then you will write something else. So this is like a table, like this is your column, these are your headers, and this is your answer. So like for example in IT, let's say attrition rate is 78%. So this is like a table, right? You can answer, but this will be like a calculated table, because this table is not given by default in the data, but we have to create that. So we'll do something like that. But the thing to remember firstly is, with DAX we can create calculated measures, calculated columns, and calculated tables, okay, with the help of queries. Now like this is a URL, so you can find all the functions that I have taught here, which Google is answering with the help of AI. So here you will find a complete resource set for DAX, which I am going to teach you one by one. So what is row context and filter context, this we will learn. Calculate DAX function, difference between sum x, etc. But if you will just write Power BI DAX, I want to introduce the Power BI official page. Okay, so on this official page, so you can see in DAX we can create functions, okay, and we can write statements. Do you see this? Functions, statements. We also have DAX operators, queries, etc. So many times I will say DAX function, many times I will say DAX statement, okay, or I will use something like DAX query. DAX queries are mostly used for answering something or finding out something, like summarize. Summarize will be used to create a calculated table, which I will teach you. So here you can see when we see functions, functions are also divided as aggregate functions, date and time functions, filter functions, financial functions like acrin, tacrin, tem, etc. We will see their usage, obviously some of them. Info functions, we have information functions. You can see how many of them are there, right? So math and trigonometry functions, you can see like we have power, pi, etc. So remembering all of this will be very difficult. That's why Power BI has given this page, and I will give you different chapters that are very important, that will help you in getting started with that, so that if you are stuck in a question you can answer. So why I am introducing this to you? Let's say I want to find out attrition rate. Okay, how can we find out attrition rate? Like here, what can we use to calculate attrition rate?
Number of employees, total employee count by number of
Employees who have left the organization or something like that, right? If I right click here, edit query, this will take us to Power Query Editor. Okay, now we will also use Power Query Editors for different type of calculations, etc. So in Power Query Editor, I am giving you as a simplest example. Attrition is given as no and yes, right? Is this clear to you guys? And that's why this column's data type is ABC. ABC is what? A string. What? String value. Okay. Data types are string. Strings are what? Alphanumeric values. Okay, like your name, your city name, your PAN card number, your vehicle's registration number, these type of things are string values. Then they are integers. Integer will be given as 1 2 3, right? Then there are decimal numbers like 1.2, and there is date. Date will be given as a calendar icon. Then there is boolean, it will be given as true false. Then there is date time, so like with calendar and watch. I'm just giving you some examples here. So these are some of the commonly used data types. Here in Power Query Editor, Why is attrition ABC and here at company 123? Now you know the answer, right? Because this is a string value, yes, no, and this is here at company. I will right click here and I will duplicate the column. So when I did that step, it showed me duplicated column. It showed me this step. Okay, duplicated. If I want to undo this change, I will just click here and it will remove the duplicate column. So I will come back here. How I came there or how I went there? Right click, edit query, take you to Power Query Editor. In Power Query Editor we have home, transform, add column, view, tools. Like in transform we can replace values, we can unpivot columns, we can fill something, we can detect data type, we can rename a column, we will pivot, convert to list, we can split a column, like name is given as Amanda Ollier, we can put first name as one column, last name as another column. This is all we are going to see later. Today I am showing you a very simple exercise. So here we have attrition, no and yes. So I am just right clicking it and duplicating the column. Is this okay for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Now this is attrition copy. Here you can see we have replace values. Can you see? I am right clicking here, right clicking. We have replace values. What if I replace no with 0? What if I replace no with 0 and right click again and replace, and I will replace yes with 1. So now if attrition is yes, right, if attrition is yes, then it will be 1. If attrition is no, then it will be 0. And I will just change its data type to a whole number, a 1 2 3, and I will just rename it to is gone or something like that, right? So I will just write it as int attrition. I'm just renaming as int attrition. So now what I did, I changed this yes no to a binary column 0 1, and I'm telling you there are many ways of doing this, but I have just showed you the simplest way. Just go to Power Query Editor, duplicate your column, duplicate, and then there replace yes with 0, yes with 1, and no with 0. Once you have made your changes, now you can see the steps that we have done. We duplicated the column, we replaced a value, we replaced value 1, change its data type, and rename the column. So whatever applied steps will be there, it will be here. You can undo or close any other step. Now we can close and apply. So don't forget to close and apply, because otherwise your data transformations will not be reflecting here. Once we closed and apply, you can see we have int attrition, and now this int attrition is a number. What is the purpose of doing this? You remember when we counted attrition, we counted it with the help of attrition, and we applied a filter here that attrition is yes. Then only we were able to count it. If I copy it and remove this, and if I do int attrition and I just do sum of it, then also it is going to show the same number. So this way I don't have to apply any filter. Okay, I I will just remove the filter. Now I don't need to apply this filter because I have converted this categorical column into a numerical column. So this is like a dummy variable. Dummy variable is something where we just write 1 0, like has the employee left the organization, 1 or 0. We just create a numerical version of it. So that's why we will do this a lot. Okay, now I will let you guys ask questions. I know there will be some questions, and if it is all clear, then we will proceed further. So this may be a very layman term, but step to change yes no column to 1 0 column. Click three dots and edit query. This opens PQI, Power Query Editor. In PQI, right click attrition column and duplicate it. Rename the duplicate as int attrition. Right click int attrition. You remember we did right click, replace values. Yes with attrition, yes with 1, no with 0. Then you will click close and apply here. Okay, close and apply. So right now I'm just closing it because we have already made the changes. Then close and apply. Final. So these are the steps. You can remember, I will share this with you as well, all of you. So you will try that. So this way now attrition count can be created without a filter. Now remember what we were doing. We were trying to calculate attrition rate, and you gave an answer that number of employees who are there versus number of employees who have left the organization. So how will we write that? Attrition, will create a variable attrition rate, okay, equal to the first function that I am teaching you guys is divide function. Okay, and divide function we have the numerator and the denominator. What will be the numerator here? Number of people who have left the organization. That means sum of int attrition. What is the denominator? Sum of or count of employee IDs. I am just writing it without any reference, but this is basically what attrition rate will look like. So divide function, then sum of attrition, then count of employees. So how will we do that? We will click on these three dots or right click here and create a new measure. Question is, attrition rate is going to be a single value or for all rows? Attrition,
It's a single value.
is a single value. That's why we are creating a measure. When you are creating your first measure, you will write the measure name. So measure name we are writing as attrition rate. Now there are two ways of doing it, three ways of doing it, or maybe other. So we use a divide function. when you can see fx written over here, this means this is a function. When you will select this, it is going to show you numerator versus denominator, numerator comma denominator comma alternate result. So in divide, we have studied from bachpan, right? From our childhood, that we used it, numerator and denominator in divide. So numerator will be what? Total number of employees who have left. And how to calculate that? Sum of, now when I am writing sum, it is showing me the table name and then column name. Can you see? So this is how it references a table. Because see, we can have 2 or 3 tables with the same column name. For example, if we have an employees table, we will have a column name called city. If we have a customers table, we will have a column name called city. Do you get my point? So if I just write city here, Power BI will be confused. Which city is it? So that's why we write the table name first and then we take the column name. So we write a table name and then the column name. What if I rename the table as a small name? So we will rename it as HR data. Now my table name becomes HR data. So how will I write? HR data int attrition. And this is how we are going to select one column. And we are going to use the sum function to calculate total number of those employees who have left. Then I will use another function called distinct count. So we are learning three functions today. First is divide. Divide takes two compulsory parameters, numerator comma denominator. Numerator is a value and denominator is a value. If I write 5 comma 10, so will this be a valid function? Forget about attrition rate. Do you understand this?
Yes, it is valid.
Right, Shahadat and Shwetaji?
Yes.
We are dividing two numbers, and if I want to show this output, I can select this and I will select where is my attrition rate? Yeah. An important thing, when this measure is created, so you can see how the icon changes. So when we created a bin, we see another icon. When we created a calculated measure, we see a calculator icon. So this way you will be able to recognize which columns are calculated, which columns are numbers, and which columns are categorical values. So here when I will write attrition rate, why is it 0.50? Because I divided 5 by 10. Okay. So now I am dividing sum of int attrition by distinct count of employee ID. I am dividing this. If I click OK, it is now 0.52 because 300 by 155, right? So it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Now, how does marital status affect attrition or income? It is asking these two questions. First of all, this is rate. Shouldn't rate be displayed as a percentage?
Yes.
right? So in Power BI, we have report view, we have table view. In table view, if you select a measure, we have measure tool. If you select a table, we have table tool. And if you select a column, we have column tool. Is it okay? If we select a table, we have table tool. If you select a column, we have column tool. If you select a measure, we have measure tool. Okay. So shouldn't this measure be a percentage? So in measure tool, select your measure and just click here. It will now become a percentage, 51.67%. Is it okay? So we will change this measure now. Alternatively, we can also change colors here. This is something that I am just doing and repeat later, because let's say we are doing other analysis, so I will just change the color and quickly apply the same color on different measures. And before applying, I will just change the category label to inverted color so that we have a different type of heading. This is something that you can do as per your own creativity. Now we have now see, attrition was our target value, but our target value was given as yes and no. So it was very difficult to do mathematical calculations on it, and that's why we converted it to a number by creating this attrition rate here. Okay, and now if I simply go with a donut chart, and in the donut chart, how does marital status affect attrition? So in legend, what should I choose? In legend, what should I choose? Or shall I choose?
Int integer.
Oh, it is asking how does marital status, right? So marital status is your categorical field. Marital status will go as legend. So people are either divorced, married, or single. So, and because we copied the styling, you can see the colors are also copied, right? Somehow. If we copy this styling, then now colors are better. And in values,
Attrition.
attrition rate that we just
Yeah.
calculated.
Yeah.
And you see the beauty of this calculated function when it is not used without, or when it is used without a filter, it is showing 51%. But you can see in married people it is 54, in divorce 51, and surprisingly in single it is less. So I know this is synthetic data, that's why results are not too much as they would have been, but this is a way to create a calculated measure and then see its effect on different values. Okay, it is asking how does marital status affect attrition, we already answered, or income. So for example, if we have to show income also, we have two ways of answering this. If we have two numbers, this is the reverse of our original situation. In our original situation, I don't know where I wrote that, we had one category, no, we had two categories, right? And one number when we started today's lecture. Now, income and attrition rate are two numbers, marital status is category. So now what can we do? So we have two numbers, one category. When you have two numbers, there are multiple ways. You can use two lines, but both of them do attrition rate and income have same unit. Attrition rate is a fraction, right? Income is a monetary value. Do they have same unit? Income and attrition rate are two numbers. Do they have same unit of measurement?
No.
No. So if they don't have same unit of measurement, we can use a chart that can show two axes. On one axis, one number or first number, and on second, other. So do you get when will we use something that has two axes? When we have to show the data of two different measures which have two different units. Here we selected a line chart to show two different things. But in both cases the unit was count. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? But in this case, attrition rate by marital status or income, we will choose line and stack column chart. So when we will select line and stack column chart, it's a combo chart. We get two axes. Do you see this? A column y-axis and a line y-axis. A column y-axis we can put attrition rate, because marital status as a category will be there on x-axis, and on line y-axis we can select monthly income. I will just disable the data labels because I want to show this. And then we have markers which we can mark on. We can decide the shaded area. For lines, I can select a different color. Let's say I want to select this color. Okay. Now what is this showing? Attrition rate and sum of monthly income by marital status. So do you think this chart is answering our question? Which of them have more monthly income?
Divorce.
Divorce. But this is not answering our exact question, because there may be more number of people who are surveyed and they are divorced, right? So we can select average as this. It also shows for average. So now yes, we can say on an average, people who are divorced, they have higher income. And who has more attrition rate? Which category has more attrition rate?
Married.
Married. So married has. So can you answer both questions with this chart? Right? So this is why we will create a line and a stacked column chart. Okay? And here we can put more categories also. We can put more categories like education, department, etc. Okay? And for today's session, like in first part, we did a lot of things. Now we also have nationality as an important parameter here. So we can also write nationality wise, you know, so for that we will use a tree map because we have many nationalities here, and a tree map also is used to categorize the data. So we will put nationality as a category, and in details we will put attrition rate. Oh, sorry, in values we will put attrition rate. So you can see for British people attrition rate is 59, which is highest. Indians it is 56, American 56.10, 56.52, and it is lowest in the case of Australian. So that's why tree map is a better way of answering these questions, because it will just show the data like a tree. We can go to color, and here you can see for every country we have some color. So you can color them on the basis of their national flags or something, or you can also go to FX. Earlier we studied on the basis of rules. Now we can also do gradient. What gradient will do, we will select attrition rate as our parameter. If the value is lower, we will display it in a light blue color. If the values are higher, we will display them as a dark blue color. And this is something I'm going to teach later also. Don't have worry about it. And if the value falls in between, we can show it as a yellow color. So now you can see that where attrition rate is lower, we have it in light blue. Where attrition rate is in mid range, it is blue, it is yellow in color, and where attrition rate is highest is in dark blue color. So how this gradient is working, we will study that. So we have studied so far. In next class, I already introduced you when to use what index. So in next class we are going to cover when should we create a calculated column, when should we create a measure, when should we create a calculated table, and what is attrition rate. This is something I already calculated using that trick. In the next class we will learn without creating another additional column how to create that. Then add a column to group employees into age bands. Then what is average income per department. Simple DAX queries to help you in getting started and understanding DAX in a better way. Now today for revision you will create these visuals and let us know if you have any question. If you like this video, if you like how our classes are going, so you can, and if you also want to join these classes, please contact us in the contact details given in the description, or you can keep watching these videos whenever we are uploading them on our channel. So if you have any questions, concerns, if you have any suggestions, please let them please ask them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day once again.